Drew and Stu are on the air.
Ready? Right.
Whether you're fading with Drew or riding with Cam, this is the place to get your weekly NFL picks.
Everything you got, let's go.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Week 18. It's not Week 18. What am I talking about, Cam? It's Wild Card Weekend of the Drew and Stu podcast. Already off to a bad start. I'm tired. What can you say?
Oh, Drew, you're so
early.
beat down. Your shirt should say instead of believe, it should be beat down. Hi, I'm Drew Livingstone, Father of the Year.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
No, I don't know about that either. But you're a good
Cam,
guy.
I'm looking
Drew.
into divisional round tickets for next weekend. Am I too? Is that too much to look into tickets for next week? Should I just wait till they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend?
Yes, Drew. Don't look into it. You can browse, peruse, but no,
Well,
I
haven't purchased.
Let's just take it easy. We know the Bills have had a bad history of playing down to level of competition. I remember that Cincinnati game too. It still leaves a sour taste. That's the worst playoff performance ever, and I know that's why a lot of
walking home in a blizzard, 20
that's
minutes
Drew.
in my car.
Yeah, actually, Drew, don't go to the Pittsburgh game this week. I don't want you anywhere near or too
Last
far.
3 games I've been to, they've lost to the Eagles. They got lost to the Vikings in that crazy Justin Jefferson catch game, and then they lost to the Bengals in the playoffs. So, like, if I go, they're probably losing. So
I got a tip. How about you don't go?
Yeah, maybe I just don't go. All right, before we recap the picks, Cam, I want to get your thoughts on your boy Pete Carroll getting fired or stepping down. We don't even know what really happened. What do you think? Is he done?
You know what it is, guys, and I got to respect the guy that's been in the business for 14 years. Pete Carroll's a rah-rah guy, not a real X's and O's guy, but they did get a Super Bowl. Should have had more. The Marshawn Lynch debacle against the Patriots. But here's the thing. Seattle kind of did them wrong. Like, I understand you have to move on, but you've spent 14 years. Can you make it 15? Like, I don't even mind one more year, and then you give them the swan song and say, hey, whatever. But apparently, I know the old players like Richard Sherman and these guys talked about this stuff. Like, Pete used to have the same speeches, the same stuff. Hey, I'm pretty spry for 72. Like, after a while, the players are like putting in their earbuds and going, okay, Pete, like, we get it. We know. We've heard this one before. I kind of think they need another guy there, another voice. We'll bring in Chris Meaney later on, Drew. I was going to get your opinion too. Very predictable offense. That's on the coordinator as well. But Seattle, no team runs first, second down, and then throws third and longer. They kind of need to mix it up. Like, they've had the same kind of offense.
You know who would be great fit, Cam?
Who?
Mike Vrabel would be amazing in Seattle.
Well, they need defensive help. I can tell you that. But you got great weapons. You got Smith and Jigba.
I know. I think they just need a general. They don't need an offensive mind or defensive mind. They need a general like Vrabel to come lead it.
And a quarterback.
Geno
Smith regressed big time. But then again, he got the bag, right? So
it
kind of happens.
Like better, so.
I don't really say better, but I think when Geno Smith's hurt, you put Drew Lock in the game, and you're not really losing much. That's
fair enough.
Sure.
All right, let's recap your picks, Cam. Wildcard weekend picks. You have, what did I just do with your paper? Oh, here it is. You have the Houston Texans, the Miami Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills as your bronze, the Packers, the Lions as your gold at -3.5, and your silver was the Eagles -2.5. Any changes to make, Cam, on those picks?
I don't feel really confident about any of them, Drew, but I'm not going to make any changes. I just want to say one quick thing before we get down to business and try to hit some props, and we've been pretty good in the prop market. I don't know one person, Drew. I know this is like the public will win sometimes, but I've done a lot of shows this week, and I don't know one person that likes the Lions, and I'm like, it's either going to be really good for me or really bad for me. Like, everybody's on the Rams.
Cam, we've said it all season. Whenever we see 80% on one side, no matter what the line is, we switch. It didn't work last week with the Vikings, but it worked most of the time during the season.
You're right.
So you're probably right, Cam, but I like the Rams +3.5. I think they lose, but I think it's close, like 34-31. All right, well, we'll recap my picks then quickly for the viewers. I like the Browns to win this game like outright by a lot of points. That's a public under road favorite, which I don't like. I love the Chiefs. That's my bronze -4. I like the Steelers +10, even though I'm wearing the Bills shirt. Sorry, guys. I like the Cowboys -7.5. I like the Rams, like I said, and my gold pick is the Philadelphia Eagles.
So to recap, we're on one of 6 picks together.
Yeah. We're split down the middle. So maybe instead of mystery tiebreaker man, let's bring Chris Meaney here of FTN and FTN Fantasy Prop Shop, everything. He's got Dangle Bet Sally. He gives you hockey picks, everything. Chris, welcome to the show, buddy.
You guys got me in stitches already. 2 of my favorite people in the world here, Cam and Drew. I'm thinking about changing my bracket. Let me know, Drew, if you go to a Bills game over the next couple of weeks. I may have
We'll go hit the ATM, right, Meanie? Everything on the other side. Drew's like a dark cloud, and he's actually a good fan too. Were you at the butt game against the Vikings too?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's right. You're like, I'm going to the Vikings game. I'm like, remember? Oh my God, Drew, wow. Better not tell people in Western New York. They're not going to let you in the country.
They never had a winning season when I was a season ticket holder either. I did have my Trent Edwards jersey though. That was it was nice.
Edwards jersey. Did Gabe tell you, Drew? We went to Mississippi State, and out of all the weeks of the year, we're sitting there like on 4-day bender. They're like, and welcome Buffalo Bills and Mississippi State legend Eric Moulds. It was Eric Moulds Day. We're like, yeah, and everyone's
awesome.
like, it was crazy. Oh,
he's
man,
a legend.
So he's
all right, Meaney, let's get your spread picks quick so you can break the tie on all these. I'm on Cleveland. Cam's on Houston. Where are you leaning?
Yeah, I'm on Cleveland too. I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of Browns here. And I know it's tough to beat a team a couple times, in a 3-week span for sure. And Stroud didn't play in that game, but I'm just a big believer in the defense in Cleveland. And I really like what Joe Flacco's done. Dude has double-digit games of playoff experience on the road. Going up against
when they
Stroud,
went that Super Bowl run, it was 4 straight road games, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of road playoff games on his NFL resume as opposed to home ones for Flacco. So I'm on Cleveland. I think that I'm with you. I think it's going to be like they probably win by a touchdown.
Yeah,
Nice.
So I was going to ask you guys though, like, does this game not have dog teaser? Like, if you like Houston, like, I'm going to be honest, Drew, we're doing picks for the show, but a teaser with Houston to either 8.5 or 9.5 makes sense. Yes, like a 2.5 line is tough. Like, I could see Cleveland maybe winning by 3. I took Houston because you know me, Drew. If I think the dog can win, I'm going to take them on the money line. But I got to be honest with you. A lot of these games, guys, like, you don't want to take the coward's way out, but teasers are good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who wants to lose a game by a hook if you find the right game? So we'll talk to Meaney about that.
I feel like it's a good weekend to tease, though, Drew. Like you said, not just that.
100%.
I know we're going to go through some of these, but the Cowboys, like, can you trust the Cowboys in a big spread? Your Bills in a big spread. You can tease those two teams down, maybe to win by a field goal. I think we all like the 49ers here, maybe to win, or the 49ers aren't playing, obviously. But the Chiefs are a team that I think maybe the spread is going to continue to move in towards KC's favor, but they're a team as well that I think will at least win by a field goal.
Okay, so let's break these ties quickly. Chris, give us some quick thoughts. Chiefs, Dolphins. Who you going?
Yeah, I'm going Kansas City. I just think Miami is limping into the playoffs. I just think they have too many injuries. They're without their top 3 pass rushers in this game. Plus, you got the frigid temperatures and Tua against good teams and that whole narrative. Also, how healthy is Mostert? How healthy is Jalen Waddle? So I'm on Kansas City here. They haven't been impressive at all on offense, but their defense has been fantastic all year long. It's a tough place to play. And they really didn't play anybody last week, so they're basically coming off a bye.
That's true. All right, Cam, that's 2 for 2. Meaney on my side. Let's see if he's on the Steelers with me plus 10 or if he's on the Bills.
This one is really tough to call for me, but I am going to lean with Cam on the Bills here. I don't know how the Steelers are going to be able to score points. It sounds like it's going to be sloppy weather in Buffalo, which I do believe benefits the Pittsburgh Steelers because they have a decent ground game. They can run the football. The Bills have some issues running the football, but the biggest thing is there's no TJ Watt. That's it. They're 1-10 without him. They allow fewer than 20 points when he's on the field. They allow almost 30 when he's off the field, and that's the biggest difference for me. There's no Watt.
That's the thing, Meaney. Like, people don't know, Drew. Like, we talk about players and points. Gabe and I were breaking it down. Like, I think Watt accounts for like 5.5 to 6 points. Like, it's an astronomical number.
He keeps mobile quarterbacks in the pocket too.
Exactly. So the thing is, I know
the
like
Bills
a lot of
play
people
down though. That's my issue.
They do. They always play down. But to Meaney's point, the reason I'm only taking the Bills is if I think the Steelers don't score more than 10 points,
that's it.
That's why I'm taking the Bills. I think the Bills can score like 27, like 27-10.
Defense is playing much better too, Drew. You know that. The defense is playing much better over the last few weeks.
Hey, Mason Rudolph though, 3-0.
Dude, that guy into Orchard Park with those drunk fans lighting people off. Trust me, it's a disaster for him. That's the last place you want to go.
Is he still dating Jeannie Bouchard, Cam?
Was he ever?
Does he work for fucking Entertainment Tonight Canada? No, I know Eugenie Bouchard's playing tennis somewhere. I don't know. Is he dating her? Is he dating her? Well,
he was dating her before. I don't know. I thought maybe you were up to date with her relationship.
Good for him. I have to change my pick.
Guys, hey Cam, can you tell me how's the Kelsey relationship? I don't know, Drew. I have no idea. All I know is she plays tennis. That's it. She does swimsuit mags.
Not very well, yeah, but all right.
Dallas, hey, relax. She's making money still.
Yeah, I'm saying she fell off the cliff. She was up to like 4 in the world. Now she's like 700th or something.
Hard.
All right, Meaney, Dallas or Green Bay?
Yeah.
I think Green Bay covers. Yeah, they're going to hang around. I think it's a bad matchup. They've been running the football pretty well over the last 3 weeks, over 150 yards per game on the ground. They're in the middle of the pack in terms of offense as well. Dallas does have the statistical advantage against Green Bay in every single category, offensively, defensively. They've won 16 straight games at home, averaging nearly 40 points at home too. But man, this is what Dallas does. They make their fan base sweat. I don't trust McCarthy in big situations, and Jordan Love's playing really good football. So
He
I think
is,
they'll keep
man.
it close.
I'm just
knows.
worried.
Drew, I'm telling you, like this line 7.5, like people just assume, and let's remember, I'm just going to make one case for Green Bay, and you could be right, I could be wrong.
Yep.
They beat teams like the Commanders, the Giants, that division. Even Meaney knows. He's an Eagles fan, and
Well,
they're not
who has
like
Green
playing
Bay
good
beat?
football.
Who has Green
What?
Bay beat besides that crazy KC game? Green Bay hasn't beat anybody.
Well, they and that was a road game, and Love's getting better every week, right? Like I don't know.
But
I
it's
just
his
trust.
first ever playoff start. Like it's tough building a play in. Like it's
Yeah,
One
I
thing
know.
too, their team age average is 25, which
It's
is the
so
youngest
young.
of any team. And I thought I heard Peter Schrager say this on Good Morning Football, the youngest of any playoff team ever, which is pretty
It's
crazy
crazy.
to think about. But they do have the experience. Matt LaFleur can call a decent game maybe to keep this thing close.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm the other way. I think it's gonna be like 37-17, like something crazy. But maybe you guys are right. Let's see. All right, last one we're split on. Meaney is the Lions and Rams. Where are you leaning in this one?
Yeah, I heard you guys earlier. I don't like that it's a public dog. I would have been on the Rams no matter who they were playing. If they were playing Dallas, if they were playing like Detroit here, the narrative, of course, with Stafford going up against his former squad. I'm going to dive into it a little bit deeper because I really like a lot of Ram spots in this game. I just think that the experience that they have with McVay and Stafford against Dan Campbell, I think he's really going to regret playing Sam Laporta in Week 18. I'm a big believer in learn how to lose before you learn how to win. And I just really like where this LA team is at. I think they can make a significant run. A little bit of a sprinkle earlier, like 4 weeks ago, 5-1 for a wild card spot.
Wow,
we got
good
that
pick.
one 70-1 for them to win the Super Bowl. It's a long shot, but I think that if there's any team in the NFC that can
You're
beat
right.
the Niners, it's the Rams, and we already saw
They
it.
played them
years ago
tough,
in the
Meaney.
playoffs. They
Remember
really
earlier on in the year, that box score was not indicative of the
It
game.
wasn't.
The Rams actually were giving the Niners fits. It
And
was
a lot
kinda
has
crazy,
changed,
actually.
Cam, since then.
Yeah.
The lot
Yeah.
has changed since that early matchup.
The Shanahan McVay rivalry does not go well in McVay's favor, though.
No.
Not in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he did get him when they won the Super Bowl a couple
Fair,
years ago.
fair,
But
fair.
I think he's, apart from Week 18, which nobody really played, I think he's won 8 or 9 straight games.
Is
in the
this a
regular
props
season. You're
game, Meaney? Like me and Drew were talking, like Lions can't be stopped, Rams can't be stopped. Like this could be like, I know over seems so obvious, but like 38-35, 41-34. Like I just don't see any defense here. This is a prop game.
I would agree. And the Lions are among the leaders in giving up big plays. And I don't think we feel too great about LA's defense either. And Jared Goff, we know in a dome, he's been fantastic over the past couple of years. So I would agree. I think I would take over 55.5, and I think it's 51. So I think we're going to see a lot of points.
All right, before we get into our props, do we know if Christian Watson's officially in or not yet for the Green Bay Packers?
I don't think we know. He's been practicing, but even if he plays, he's going to be limited. He's been basically limited all year.
I see, like they have those specials, most receiving yards for Wild Card Weekend, and he's 75-1 for have most receiving yards. And I was like, if he plays,
Wow.
he catches
Bland
some
is-
deep shots.
And Bland's going to be on him, and we know that he's a pick monster, pick 6, but according to our wide receiver cornerback matchup tool, he's allowed the second most yards per route run covered out of any corner playing this weekend. So it's very boomer or bust, big plays.
Good call, Meaney.
He either picks one, takes it to the house, or he jumps the route too early.
That's the thing about Dallas. They're going to be like trying to jump some stuff, and if Love figures it out, like these are going to be some massive plays.
Well,
like,
and Love's the king of just chucking it up and like hoping for the best. Like some of the passes he's completed this season, it's like falling like a punch into his receiver's hands. I'm like, how did that even get completed?
I know.
But yeah, that's insane. All right, let's get into our props, Cam. You're the anytime TD king.
Yeah.
I like some of the yard stuff, and Meaney's the prop master. So we'll go one by one. We'll start with Cam Stewart. Give us your first anytime TD prop of the weekend.
Well, we'll go in order, Drew, of the games. And I know I like Houston, but I'm going to, Cleveland can win this game. And I know one thing with Flacco. Hey, Flacco, he loves Njoku. Flacco and Njoku is something that is like peanut butter cups, a peanut butter chocolate, whatever great combinations in the world are. That's what they are.
Not a combo.
It's chocolate and peanut butter, I meant. But anyway, we're not going to get into the snack department, Drew, as you ripped me for liking Score. Oh, senior citizens like Score. No, they wouldn't have teeth. They wouldn't have teeth. Score's amazing. This guy, Drew's like, anyway, I deal with this guy every week, Meaney. I'm taking Njoku 2-1. What are we getting? Plus 200, plus 195. I think one of my books had a 200 for Njoku.
Yeah,
I'm taking it.
I see FanDuel at using the prop shop. Drew, you referenced it. It's such a cool tool. It's free. It's like Google search. You type in a player, a team, and all the books will pop up. Save you a lot of time, save you a lot of cash. See 2-1 at FanDuel, for example, plus 200 at FanDuel, plus 140 at BetMGM, right? So you're getting a little bit more.
He's
plus
200 at
200,
365 as well. He's
Oh, Meaney, you're just like the Flyers, and I'm shopping. I got the old day of bringing out my pen. Okay, eggs
Dude,
here. I'll
love
go
it.
get some meat. Yeah,
He's the
amazing.
coupon guy at Walmart's doing the price matching.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, Meany, give us your first prop of the weekend. One of your favorite plays.
It's actually Njoku too. Over 54 and a
Ooh.
half receiving yards over at DK at -110. Just want to give a little bit of love to Flacco and just back up this pick. So from week 13 to 17, since Flacco's taken over, didn't include week 18. He didn't play. A lot of quarterbacks didn't play. He leads the NFL in yards, over 1,600, air yards 1,900, pass attempts over 200. He's averaging 323 passing yards per game and 40 attempts. Like, he is chucking the ball a lot, using the splits tools again from that span. A 64% pass rate in a neutral game script is the second highest mark in football. Before Flacco took over, they were a bottom 10 pass team. It makes sense. They were using multiple different quarterbacks, Nick Chubb early, a run-first team. But nobody's benefited more since the Flacco change than Njoku and Amari Cooper. The 45 targets in 5 games, 9th most in football. He's top 90 receiving yards in 3 of his last 4. He only had 44 yards in that Week 16 matchup against the Texans. But remember, that was 36-6 in the fourth quarter. There was some garbage time stuff by the Texans in that game.
What do you mean only 44 yards? He had over 200 against them.
That was Cooper. That was Murray.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah.
And I like Amari too. I think he's at 72. I don't think he's officially in. He's going to play. But Njoku at the 54 and a half, he only had the 44 in that game. But again, they were cruising. It was 36-6. Texans had some garbage time stuff late to keep it close. CJ playing in this game should keep it close, but Flacco had 42 attempts, nearly 400 yards in that game. And the Texans, they've allowed the second most yards and catches per game to tight ends. So it's a really good matchup, 7.7 yards per attempt, the third most in football too. So I really think that Flacco's is going to continue to just sling it to Cooper and to Njoku.
And that leads into one of my favorite props of the week from the same game. Flacco over 1.5 touchdowns. It's -110. This guy's had over 2 in every single game he's played in this season.
Yeah,
I mean, I love that play. I'm gonna parlay that with Njoku anytime TD for +400. Give me that all day.
Drew, I got one more thing to ask you guys, and it was interesting. I was just doing the show with Mayo, and this is the week we take quarterback props. This is all or nothing. This is not some kind of week 6 game or whatever. Like, this is your playoffs. You show up and you do anything to move the sticks. Like, Allen's number was 30 something. I'm like, what? I thought it'd be like 52 and a half. Stroud is 9.5. I know he rushed for 20 last week. He had a couple games where 0 and 4, but 11. Like, it just seems one rush, like, to break something, to keep a drive going. Meany, how do you feel about quarterback rushing overs? I might take the whole lot of these guys and go over, and I think we hit more winners than losers.
It's something that I've done a lot this year. Of course, like Josh Allen is one that you think about, but Russell Wilson, it was kind of like old vintage Russell this year. His rushing attempt prop was 4.5 plus money. And it towards the end of the season, it got up to like the low 20s, but he was automatic. Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, I can get behind the CJ Stroud one. He's kind of sneaky on the ground. You're not really used to seeing him run around, but Myles Garrett's going to be after him quite a bit. So, maybe he escapes. That could come on one play, Cam.
Well, and if you like the Browns to win, he's going to be like the break glass in case of emergency. Stroud just might take off on like some of these fourth downs or anything. So,
good call.
Yeah. I like it also in the same game, guys. Jerome Ford over 15.5 receiving yards. He's been over that in 4 of 6 games with Flacco. And if this game's close, like we think, it's going to be Flacco check down city. So I think 16.5 yards is way too low for Ford in this one. We've seen him take like 50 yarders to the house with Flacco.
Yeah, he's only throwing the ball to 3 guys, right? It's Cooper and Njoku instead of the backfield. And he's throwing it 40 times a game, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, let's move on to their next prop. Anytime TD prop with Cam Stewart. What do you got?
Do you want to go to the Kansas City-Miami game, Drew?
Yeah, let's switch it up.
Okay, I'm going to go with Mostert plus 130 anytime touchdown. I don't know if it's going to be him or a chain for the Dolphins there, but Pacheco, you got to lay a quarter. He'll probably get one too, but I think the Dolphins' key to success against Kansas City is going to be the run game. I know it's going to be freezing and frigid. Tua, it's going to be tough. A lot of basically use your receivers like the extension of a running game, quick little hitches, keep on moving the sticks, but old genius McDaniel, you're doing everything fine. Oh, no, what? I want to be the smartest guy in the room, even though the running game's working. I think I'm going to change. You know what? Just stick to the damn game plan, bro, and you actually might have a chance. Yeah. I would say both Miami guys. Meaning, who do you like more out of the Miami running backs?
Mostert's been scoring a touchdown almost every game. Yeah. Right? I mean, he's the guy
plus
that gets the touches near the goal line. So, yeah, I would lean with him.
I'm in. Yeah. I'm going to stick with Mostert.
All right, Meany, give us some of your favorite props from the Chiefs-Dolphins game.
Yeah, I don't have a lot from this game. You and I talked before we got on about Travis Kelce at 55 and a half. It's actually jumped up to about 60. I know he hasn't done a whole lot, but he has a history of just balling out at this time of the season. And I think that reset last week was just really good for Kansas City overall offensively, just to kind of relax, rest. Everything's okay. They're a team, unlike the Eagles, that I think could actually flip a switch. And I look at Isaiah Pacheco over 15 and a half rushing attempts. I think that this game potentially could get out of hand. It's possible if Miami can't move the football, if they don't stick to a good game plan, which I totally agree, Cam. Run the football against Kansas City. That's how you beat this team. Keep Mahomes and company off the field. But Isaiah Pacheco had a ton of touches the last time that we saw him. He looks healthy. They're not. Derek McKinnon's on IR. He's not going to be a factor.
He runs so hard too.
He runs like a cartoon character.
That's the thing. He's like the guy's like a 7th round draft pick out of Rutgers. He's running through walls. That's like
dude's got things to prove every time he touches the football. Yeah.
Meaney, you're onto something. It's going to be like we're talking Arctic weather. Like I used to live in the Arctic. Like it's not like 0 Fahrenheit.
It might be the coldest playoff game in NFL history.
It's going to be insane. So, and you know how much it hurts to tackle in the winter alone, let alone like free. That ball's going to be like a frozen rock. Like it's going to like take somebody's hands off.
If there was a prop for Tyreek Hill drops, I'd be taking it over.
I'd take the whole Chiefs team for drops too, other than Kelce. And true. Rice can catch a few. Those guys drop everything on a summer
MBS
day.
minus 1,000 for 2 drops. You'd probably still take it.
Yes, I'll take it all day. Yes.
All right, Meaney, I'm going to play off your Pacheco prop. I like Pacheco over 55 and a half rushing yards. He's been over that in 5 of his last 6, over 100 in 2 of 3. Plus, it's going to be freezing, like Cam said. I think this could be an over 100-yard game for Pacheco. Never mind 55 and a half. I think that's way too low. And Kelce, like you said, he's averaging 86 yards a game in this playoff career. When Mahomes is in trouble, he gives it to Kelce. If you think this is going to be close, you're going to give it to Kelce. It's 58 and a half right now. It's went up from 55, like we said. But he's averaging 86 in his career. Like, I feel like this should be easy. Like, if ever he's going to show up, it's got to be now in the playoffs, right?
Agreed.
I would say,
guys.
So,
You know what? I'd lay a quarter with Pacheco too. Like at the goal line, who's getting the ball? Like just smash. Like Meaney, you'd say like sometimes laying juice isn't bad if the guy's going to get a lot of touches at the goal line. Like it's not even like a buck. Remember, like we were doing with McCaffrey, we had to parlay at minus 220 and all this other stuff. Like 25
Cam,
cents.
You like
fine.
Pacheco over 100 yards and to score touchdowns plus 650.
Oh my God.
And just add the attempts and just give him 15 plus attempts and you'll probably get that up even higher. I mean, if he gets 100 yards, he's probably going to have 15, 16 rushing attempts. Man, I saw an article this morning
15 attempts makes it plus 800. You're right.
Drew doesn't like it good. He wants more and more. Like he literally just went to a buffet. I gotta get more.
I saw something this morning that KC fans are allowed to bring like cardboard boxes or something to the game to sit on. I don't know if I was
put themselves to insulate in.
Well, because you don't want to sit in the metal. It's true at Bills games as experience. So you bring like your own blankets and your own seat cushions because you can't. It's like a metal bench in the upper bowl. You're not sitting on that. You're freezing.
Fair. All right.
And they don't plow. They don't plow nothing. Like they don't
That's
shovel.
A good point,
they
Drew.
don't shovel the aisles.
You might stick your ass to the chair. It's like it's going to be that cold.
Well, either that or the water is coming off the seat into your ass, and then your ass going to freeze.
Yeah, that's not a good bidet, too. That's ice water up your cornhole. That hurt.
Good luck, Tua.
Yeah, it's not fun. Uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know how Tua and those guys are going to do up there in that weather.
Not well, probably, but we'll see.
All right, we got any more picks from this game, or we should move on?
We'll move on.
Yeah, move on.
All right, Bills, Steelers. Cam, give us your anytime TD props from this one.
Oh, Drew, what are we going to do here? It's your boy. It's the time of the year. I'm going to go 2 Bills. I'm going to take Allen anytime. I think he's even. And I'm going to take Dalton Kincaid, his new favorite target at plus 250. Anytime touchdown. I might take him for first touchdown at 11-1. I found on one of my books. Some have 10. One book has 11. I think Kincaid's going to be a monster in this game. I'd probably take the over yardage with him. But Allen, this is it. This game, everything, he will take this team on his back if need be. I want to take Diggs. Diggs is a pretty good price at plus 175. I'm not touching any Steelers, but Kincaid plus 250, Allen even.
I like the Kincaid play. The only issue, he doesn't really score TDs. He hasn't really scored them this year.
What about yardage?
Yardage, I like the yardage for sure from over. It's like 36 and a half, I think, right now.
Sold.
I like to sprinkle on Leonard Fournette anytime TD. I was talking to Meaney about that. He's got a couple goal line carries, and it's the playoffs. This is what they got him for. So I think if it's like 2 yards, 3 yards, if it's 1 yard, they're obviously doing the tush push, and Allen's going to get it. But if it's 2 or 3 yards, I think it's Fournette gets in the end zone.
Plus 450. That's a
good price. That's a good.
Yeah, no,
flyer.
that has to be played. That has to be played.
It's a really good flyer. Makes a lot of good points there, Drew, with Lenny. I'll go on the other side and just like from a prop, not a touchdown, is just Najee Harris. He's got a rushing attempt prop of 15.5. The last couple of weeks for him, 26, 27, and 19. His rushing yard prop is 55.5 too. I know what Tomlin's going to do in this game. Is just going to try to run nonstop, especially if it's sloppy weather. I know Rudolph has been pretty good in the 3 games, but I'm not buying what he's selling. So I'm going to go with Najee.
You
here.
You guys both hate Rudolph.
I
Actually,
like
Drew,
him the most out of
no.
all the Steelers quarterbacks. I think he's the
What?
best.
I
of the
defended him
3.
weeks ago and said he should be the quarterback over Trubisky. I don't hate him. I hate him in this spot.
Yeah, what do you think about his over-run right now is 157 yards? Do you think that's going under?
Under.
That's
I'm not getting the over.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's going to be free. Like they got to run.
Steeler wide receiver could have a day because those like Deontay Johnson and George Pickens receiving yard props are really, really low. And what we've seen in the 3 games, I mean, he has 3 touchdowns of 60 plus yards, is one off Tua for the league high. And 2 of the 3 were slants. One was a slant that Pickens took to the house. Another one was a slant that Deontay took to the house. But Pickens also can beat you over the top. And I know it's the Bills and the defense have been playing pretty good, but Drew, like what Steelers wide receiver do you think could give Buffalo troubles? Because it just really takes 1 or 2 catches to break one to get to that yardage prop.
If I'm betting any Steeler for receiving, it's Freiermuth. It's not the receivers, just because of the linebacker injuries in Buffalo. It might be Balin Spector starting at middle linebacker, which is not good for any coverage. So yeah, I'd take Freiermuth 21.5 yards. Like if they're pressuring Rudolph, that's so
you know what
low.
though, too, guys? Maybe to your point, Drew, if we go according to game script and the Bills are up, they might have to throw. Like say the Bills get up 17 or something like that, right?
Oh, the backs of the backfield as well.
Jalen Waddle receiving yards. Yeah, exactly. Those 2 running backs will probably get 5 or 6 targets combined.
Yeah, 100%. All right, anyone got any more props in this game? I like the Allen over rushing 36.5. No. He's averaging 52 in his career in the playoffs. I think the only issue he may not have to run is the issue if you guys think it's going to be a blowout. So
Fournette, that's an amazing price. Good call on you by you guys there. That's real sneaky. I like that.
All right, maybe we put him in the parlay after. I don't know if that's safe, but we'll see. All right, moving on to I actually don't have a prop in the next game. Do you guys like any props in the next one? The Dallas Green Bay one.
What about Jones for a touchdown? What do you think?
Jones is interesting for a touchdown. The one thing, like AJ Dillon is like the goal line back there, but he's kind of been phased out of the offense, and I know he's not 100%. I like Jaden Reed. I do have the over 4.5 grabs at plus 115. I have the over 48.5 receiving yards. I like the receiving yards more than the catch prop. He's kind of used
even
like
Watson potentially coming back.
Yeah, I don't care too much about Watson. I know that the targets have been up for Reed over the past couple of weeks because of Watson, but he's just taking control of this offense. He's the first read for Jordan Love, and they do use him like Debo, whether it's a end-around rush, a quick bubble screen, a slant. He's really explosive with the ball in his hands, and I think we all agree that the Cowboys are going to score some points in this game. So as much as Green Bay is going to want to run the football, they're going to have to chuck a little bit. So I
got one for you guys. Kendall Wicks, plus 280 for Green Bay. Wicks. That guy's been he's a part of things, man. It's a good price, almost 3 to 1. Worth a sprinkle.
He's a guy that may not be on the field at all, though, Cam, if Watson's back. That's
I don't
like
know.
It might be just Dobbs, Reed, and Watson. Like he might not be.
You
on the
think?
field.
No,
Watson will deem limited though. Cam, he'll get some snaps, and the snaps that he'll get will probably be inside the red zone, which benefits.
He's been pretty good, man. Like it's nice. It's not as good as
Musgrave's back. If Musgrave's back, plus 550 for anytime TD for their tight end.
Good call, Drew.
And if he's not, you go the other way with Tucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Good call.
Yeah, I don't know. And Ferguson's usually a TD machine, so like if you'd like the Cowboys to get a lot of touchdowns,
I do like
plus
at home
162.
too.
Yeah. All right. So no yardage props in this game besides Reed though, Meaney?
No, I mean CD's at 99.5. He probably hits the century mark, but it's just too high. And he shouldn't see Jair Alexander. I mean, they move him around a little bit, but he's for the most part he's in the slot. He should avoid Jair, but he's a walking 100 yards. I mean, he's just been a cheat code. Nobody can stop him, but it's tough to take a prop that high.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to the Rams and Lions, the highest scoring game of the week in all of our eyes, which means it'll probably be 17-13, but hopefully not. All right, we'll start. Cam, what do you like as your anytime TD prop in the Rams Lions?
I don't like laying juice, but Williams, how does he not get a touchdown in this game? He is their option at the goal line. It's minus 138. It's a lot, but you know what? Juice isn't a problem if you win. I can't believe they have Laporte at plus 125. The guy might not even play. Nakua plus 120. I want a little bit more. St. Brown. I need a flyer. You know what? I need a flyer for Detroit. What's their backup tight end, Wright or
Brock Wright might be if he doesn't play.
Josh Reynolds may be interesting. I think Khalif Raymond's banged up as well. Goff kind of looks at him inside the red zone.
Meaney, would you guys lay 35 cents with Williams and 20 cents with Gibbs, or would you go with Montgomery? What's he, minus 105? Who do you
I'd
guys
go
like?
Monty over Gibbs for a TD.
Me too.
Okay.
He's the goal line back there.
I like Williams for the Rams.
But yeah,
though,
I'd lay
even
the
at
juice with Kyron up to
$1.38.
like Kyron. I'd do up to like minus 200. Like I feel like he's just
I agree.
automatic TD every week, especially in a high scoring game. We think is going to go over 52.5. Anytime TD I love in that game, guys, is Cooper Kupp. He's had a TD in 4 of his last 5 games, 36 targets in that span as well. I know everyone's on the Nakua train, but when it gets to the red zone, Stafford looks for his boy Kupp. So that's what I like.
Yeah, and Cam,
What
you
about Rams
brought this
tight
up
ends?
earlier about guys like, you don't want to take him because they're around minus money or like minus 110 or whatever. But we did this last year with Cooper Kupp. Like every year, people are like, I don't want to take him. He's only plus 100. But he scored a touchdown like every single week. And the plus 125 for him, I think, is a pretty good call, Drew.
All right, give us your props, Meaney. I know you like a little puka in this.
Yeah,
game.
I want to hear this, Meaney. It's going to be an encyclopedia here. Let's roll.
There's a lot I like. So if it's actually is a 17-13 game or whatever you said, I'm going to lose a lot of cash. Stafford over 272 passing yards, minus 114. I like him at minus 130 for 2 passing touchdowns as well. Like, just let me give a little bit of love to the Rams and why I'm backing them so much here. So a league best 7-1 over the last 8 games. The one loss was in Baltimore. They scored 31. It was a walk-off touchdown.
They should have won that game.
They should have won that game, but they lost it. They hung with Baltimore. They lost in overtime. But Stafford, over his last 5, he's averaging 295 passing yards, 279 against Cleveland, really good pass defense, 294 against Baltimore, really good pass defense. They're 1-2 in terms of eliminating yards per attempt and completion percentage against the quarterbacks. Detroit, 27th in passing yards allowed and touchdowns allowed. Only the Bengals allowed more yards per attempt than Detroit this season at 7.8. Nick Mullins, guys. Nick Mullins, week 16 and week 18. He threw for 411 and 396
Me and Cam were both
yards.
on the Vikings against
We're on the Vikings. We couldn't believe
that
it.
secondary. You should be on the Rams again. Detroit, the 3rd most yards to wide receivers. They ranked 31st in DVOA against wide receiver ones. Only Washington allowed more per game at 90. They ranked 7th worst against wide receiver 2. So I think Stafford's going to sling it. I know that they've been running with Kyron, but Detroit's pretty good against the run. They're one of the top defenses against the run. They give up a lot of big plays in the middle of the field and deep as well. So
you wouldn't take the over 82.5 for Kyron on the ground?
I probably gets to 100. He's going to get enough touches. They'll still run. There's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. He can bust one. But my favorite props would be Stafford over 272 and 2 touchdowns. And then Puka Nacua over 5.5 grabs at minus 130 feels like a steal. And then 73.5 receiving yards as well. So I'm on all of these guys. I don't know which line on the other side. Waiting to hear about Sam Laporta. Like I said earlier, I think that Dan Campbell's going to regret the decision of playing Laporta. He is such a big part of this offense, especially inside the red zone. It's a huge loss. It's
like with the Chargers last season with Mike Williams. They played him week 18 for no reason. He gets hurt and he doesn't.
You didn't need to do it. Like that's the whole thing. There's other guys like there's a time and a place, right? Like meaning we play sports before, we're not guys who just go, I'm in the bed. Like we understand, like you don't want to take too much time off. You get rusty. But you also have to think about the big picture especially when you're the Lions, like a team that you're finally there, like don't screw it up with pointless injuries.
It's an experience thing.
Yes.
I said earlier, learn to lose before you learn to win. He's going to learn. Next week he's in this situation, he's not going to be playing his key players to move from 3 to 2. And you look what McVay and the Rams did. They knew that this matchup was coming. They've been waiting for this for the past couple weeks. They didn't play anybody. So McVay traded Goff away because he couldn't win the big game. He got a guy in Stafford who could win the big game. It should be the best game of the week. I think it's going to be really, really fun. But I lean with the Rams and the experience and some of these pass catchers.
Yeah, so me and Cam both think the Lions win the game, but I think the Rams cover, but the Lions win a close one.
I do want to change my minerals at the end, by the way, Drew.
Okay, cool. So
I can't have Lions. I can't, even though I think the Lions are going to win. I can't have it as my gold selection. That's just,
I don't think they have no chance. But I like the Rams. It's like I said, I've been feeling this team over the past couple weeks. I think Kyron just gives them more balance, and Cooper Kupp is like an afterthought in this offense, and he's still really, really good. So I like
that's hilarious. That's why I see his prop at 66. I'm just like,
it's way
it's
too
so low.
It's way too low. Yeah.
I like, so this is a little parlay I just put together here. What do you guys think? Kupp over 100, Nacua over 100, and St. Brown over 100, all parlayed. I think it's gonna be a lot of passing this game. It's 38-1.
Wow.
38-1 is a really. I didn't think it'd be that high, to be honest.
I thought it'd be like 15 or 20.
Yeah,
That's
same. I was like,
crazy.
14, 16 to 1,
Yeah.
but 38 to 1 is definitely worth a sprinkle, considering what Vegas is telling you. Like the over
I think it's
50.
like Eagles last year. I think you hit the Smith and Brown over 100 in like 6 straight games. Remember that when they both kept getting over 100 yards?
That was fun.
That was crazy. I
It's
think
not
it could
going to
happen
happen
again
on Monday.
Hey, you never know.
Not for
All
Philly.
right, we got Cam. You got any anytime TD props in the Eagles Bucks game? I don't have any props in this game just because the lines are
Eagles Bucks game. I don't know what to do, man. I'm scared.
I think Jalen Hurts anytime TD is still an option.
Yeah, you know what? I would take Hurts too. I don't know. What do you think, Meaney, about Swift? Are they gonna like feed him or like what's the deal?
They should feed him. They ran all over Tampa in that Week 3 matchup, but a lot has changed since then. The Bucks are inside the top 10 rushing yards allowed in terms of eliminating them. That's what Philly should do. But man, I've been beating that drum all year long. Like, why don't they run the football more? I don't understand why they don't lean on that offensive line and run the rock. I would say that that's probably the game plan. Hurts struggles against pressure. You saw him against the Giants in 2 of the last 3 weeks. He has really struggled, and the Bucks can bring some pressure. I think they're top 5 in sacks. I'd say they lean on the ground game, but I can't take him for an anytime touchdown because Kelsey said it on the podcast, on the New Heights podcast. He said, dude, I feel so bad for you when you get stopped at the 1 because you know you're not getting the ball next. It's all Jalen Hurts.
Cam Meaney's like me, eh? Big pessimist.
Last year I was extremely optimistic. I'm just not watching this team. They're just not.
No, you got to be real with your team. Like I knew with Seattle's, like even remember Drew against Pittsburgh when I took Pittsburgh. I'm like, they're going to lose this game. I just know this team. They were going to get run into the ground. That's just what Seattle does. Like they're not the same team. Meaney knows the Eagles are cold, but you know what, Meaney? I agree. They got to protect Hurts too. I'm going to take Swift for a touchdown. It's time for these guys to figure this stuff out. You got to give them the ball. I know it's probably going to be at the 1, the tush push, whatever brotherly shove, but I'm taking Swift. Because I think they have to establish a run game. I wouldn't 100%. Be surprised if Swift got some balls out of the backfield too, Drew. They got to mix things up.
Yep. Meaney, I don't have it on I can't find this prop anywhere, but maybe your prop shop has it. I want a Marcus Mariota anytime TD. I think the Eagles absolutely destroy them. So that Hurts out of the game with his finger. They're not gonna risk injuring him in the fourth quarter.
That's stone nuts right there. Mariota touchdown. What is it?
Yeah. The reason you can't 20? Find it is because it's not going to happen. I'm not seeing it either. I think the books are just a little slow with this game being on Monday and waiting word on.
It's got to be 10-1 at least.
At least 10-1. He might not play, Drew. It's got to be at least 20-1.
Yeah, not seeing it just yet. But I think we'll see a little bit more once we hear word about.
Well, that's what I mean. He injured his throwing hands fingers, so like maybe he like. If one of these tush pushes, he hurts his hand again, like he might not finish the game.
You know what? Mariota could get in the game.
Like, that's possible. Yes. It's possible. They just get blown out.
I don't know. Anyways, okay, guys, rally off any more props you got that you haven't listed so far. If you have any, don't worry. If not, we'll get into our TD parlay for the week.
Yeah, I'll just give you one. Chris Godwin in this game, 54.5 receiving yards. Nice. He's had a pretty disappointing season, not really finding the end zone, but the last couple games, 81 yards, 78, 155, 45 targets over the last 5 weeks, top 10. He's going to be up against James Bradbury. This guy just and he has not been good this year. He's been
the one that cost him the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That was a bogus call, but yeah.
It was, Meaney. It was so tic-tac. It's in the Super Bowl.
Didn't call anything all game.
Let it go.
Still not over it. Darius Slay coming back in this game. He's going to have his hands full against Mike Evans, but the way to beat Philadelphia, has been the ground game lately. 150 rushing yards they've allowed. Only the Seahawks came allowed more rushing yards in the second half of the season than Philly. But they are dead last Tampa in rushing yards. So I think that they'll pick on Bradbury in this game. If they can get the ball out quick, that does benefit a guy like Chris Godwin. So I'm going to attack him. And I'm not going to touchdown. He doesn't score touchdowns, but he should get 55 yards.
So you think Rachaad White gets over his 63.5?
I'd say probably the last few weeks. Kenneth Walker. I've been on Kenneth Walker. He had his best game ever from a success rate against Philadelphia on that Monday Night Football game. Saquon Barkley was at 55.5. He went off. James Conner was at 55.5. He absolutely went off as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would lean. I think his attempt prop is 15.5 as well. I'd say he touches the ball 18, 19 times on the ground. And yeah, Drew, that's 60. What is it? 63, 64?
63.5. Yeah.
Yeah, I would lean to the over on that too. Eagles, they look. This is the thing. Besides the struggles in the red zone and the play calling, it's also going to Patricia with 4 weeks left. They're all confused on defense. They don't know what coverage.
This
The
is all
players,
Chris is good
How
for.
does this
This
guy
all Chris
get
is good for.
work?
Put his fifth
Man.
How does he get work?
and
He
I'm all
sucks.
for Nick Sirianni giving him the benefit of the doubt, but that is a huge mistake what he did. The players are basically the same. The schemes are wrong.
Mhm.
They look tired. Like, I don't know if it was that schedule from Buffalo, San Fran, Dallas, and Seattle, and playing some of those teams on short weeks, and then Buffalo. Like, the Bills should have won that game, and the Eagles played 96 snaps on defense. They can't tackle anybody. They look like a team that's just tired and gassed, and that's why teams are running all over them over the past few weeks.
They're one of the teams that needed a late bye week. Their bye week came
right.
too
They
early.
needed that.
Actually,
they
this
needed
is
that
good
one
that their
seed so
game's
bad.
on the Monday too. Like, they got the late game to just kind of maybe regroup. They need
And it's
all the help
good
they
that
can
it's
get.
on the road, because
I was
when
going
they
to say, I
played
think it helps them that it's on the road.
when they played the
agree.
Cardinals a couple weeks ago, when they went 3-0 to start the game, everybody in the stadium was booing. It's like, guys, like, come on, be encouraging with this team. You still double-digit wins. You still have a chance for the
You want
division.
Philadelphia fans to have logical
Yes,
heads? Like,
they're so negative.
I
Like,
do.
it's
Like,
just
come on.
enough.
Like, let's don't
Yeah, I'm
pile
with
on.
Meaney.
So I'm glad that they're on the road and they can just maybe avoid some of the distractions.
Just wait till they're in San Fran next week. Well, you think the Rams are winning, so they'll be in Dallas.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into your bracket, meaning then we're going to build a crazy anytime TD parlay with we each give 2 or 3 each, just to get the viewers something that's like 180 to 1 like we usually do. So we'll give Meaney round 1. I'll go through the matchups. You give me your picks. We'll start in the AFC. Houston, Cleveland. Give me your pick.
Cleveland.
All right, Browns, Bills, Steelers.
Bills.
Bills, and then Chiefs, Dolphins.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Okay, so you got Flacco returning to his Baltimore Ravens. Where do you like in that one? You think the Browns can pull off the upset?
They did beat them earlier in the year. No, I don't, but they're a team that I think could really give them a good go just because of the defense. I mean, they're in the top in terms of yards and passing.
They're just so
yards
bad
per
on the road
completion
defensively
percentage.
versus.
They are, and the Ravens with the bye, and their defense can match them too. So yeah, I'm gonna go Baltimore in that game. I'm pretty chalky.
All right, Bills, Chiefs. I picked the Chiefs in my bracket in this spot. Where are you going?
You sucker! Come on.
Dude, until it happens, I can't trust it.
It's happening. This game is now in
Oh,
Buffalo. Man. It is happening. Kansas City has been struggling all year on offense. Cam brought it up earlier. They lead the league in drops. They can't get anything from Travis Kelce.
Cam was like, "You guys are going to slaughter Mahomes in Buffalo." I was like, "Okay, settle down, Cam."
This is
I'm not going to settle down. You got to get some damn confidence in your team, man.
Cam, this is the first year I can buy into Buffalo because of they're more balanced now. They're actually running the football, and Joe Brady's giving them a
under the
balanced
radar.
attack. Yeah.
Meaney? No one expects. Oh, they'll find a way to screw it up.
Buffalo to Super Bowl now. I don't know if they're under the radar. Everyone's favorite.
Really?
They're going to be.
Well, because the odds were crazy to 1. Like oh yeah. By the way, Drew, shout out. It wasn't Visine Vince. It was my boy Shaner. That 50 to 1 parlay with whatever. Because he said he's like, why are you giving Vince credit or whatever? He watches our podcast. He's like, yeah, it's 51 to 1. Meaney, Bills meeting Niners in Super Bowl. They got 51 to 1. Good bet.
Wow. This is really
all right, Meaney, AFC Championship, Ravens versus Bills. Who's your representative from the AFC?
I do like the Ravens. I think this is where it will end for Buffalo, but it won't be because of Josh Allen. He'll do enough in this game. I just think defensively, the Ravens are going to have the edge. You just got so many playmakers all over the field, so I'm going to lean.
The Bills have held Lamar in check the last 3 times they played.
True.
And I think he will again. But the biggest difference for me, you assume Hamilton, Patrick Queen. They just have so many guys that can get after the quarterback and make plays in the secondary. And I think that's where somebody else apart from Diggs will have to step up. And I'm just not sure who that guy could be.
Hey, big game Gabe. No, but I will say as a Bills fan, I'm more confident in them beating the Ravens than I am in beating the Chiefs. Yeah.
Because of Mahomes, right? Mahomes versus Lamar.
Yeah, exactly. But that's fine. Okay, move to the NFC now. We got your Eagles against the Bucks round 1. Who you got?
I think Tampa Bay is going to win, guys. I think Tampa Bay is going to win the game.
You're not picking Tampa.
I think Tampa Bay is going to win the game.
Oh, my God.
I really do. Cool, I think there's a lot of things that are going wrong in Philadelphia. It's they just can't flip the switch. I'm sorry, they can't.
All right, well, you're going against my gold selection. I don't like it, but all right, Rams, Lions.
So this is great. Me's betting against the Eagles, and you're betting against the Bills.
Yeah,
my team reeks.
Yeah.
Exactly. You guys got battle wounds.
Yes, exactly. All right, Rams, Lions. Meany, give us your pick.
It's the Rams.
Ooh,
all right, that's 2 upsets. All right, last one, Cowboys, Packers going 3 for 3 with the upsets.
No, I'm gonna take Dallas in this one.
All right, so that means round 2 would be Rams at San Fran and Tampa at Dallas. So Rams at San Fran will start. Where are you going on this one?
I really want to do it. I don't have the stones to do it. Like I said earlier, I got the sprinkle on the Rams. I think that they are a team that can beat San Fran, but I am going to lean with the Niners squeaking out a really close one. I'll probably be on the Rams spread if that one opens up at like 3.5, 4.5 will be all over LA there.
All right, and then we got Tampa going to Dallas. Do they have what it takes to knock off both NFC East teams?
No. Dallas is in a good
I was
spot.
going to say, you had Baker in the NFC Championship?
Dallas is in such a good spot. We all know that they struggle on the road, but getting that division was so key for them to kind of get, I don't want to say it's 2 layups, but they're going to be favored again by over a touchdown, so I'll go Cowboys.
All right, NFC Championship game, Cowboys 49ers, probably the game every network in the world wants because the ratings are going to be bananas for this one. Yeah. Who are you going? Can Dallas make it back to the Super Bowl, or is it San Fran's time?
San Fran's time. They can't beat Dallas.
Everybody's got the old Ravens-Niners Super Bowl.
I know, it's so chalky.
Right. Original, Meaney.
It's so chalky, but hey,
but it makes sense.
Last year we saw the 2 1 seeds as well in 100%. Philadelphia and Kansas
City. That bye week's
and
huge, man.
It is huge.
I got Dallas and Buffalo, Meaney.
Sure, fine. The 2 teams that could get over the hump. I mean, they're the 2. They're not. Both of them are 2 seeds. They're going to be playing home games, which is very beneficial as well. I wish that I came in here with some stones and had the Rams win the Super Bowl, but I just
hey,
you still got the
guess what Cam's pick was in the preseason?
Oh yeah, Jacksonville. Yay!
Jacksonville Super Bowl.
You know what, Meaney? After a couple of weeks, Drew's like, "Wow, Jacksonville looks great." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm out." Yeah, I was like 8-3. I go, "Ooh, what a pick!" And then, Steffi Graf and the wheels fell off there. What about your boy Peterson? I don't think he did a very good job, to be honest with you. They should have played Beathard when Buddy was hurt. They really fucked up.
I know they fired their quarterback coach, but it's just kind of a scapegoat there. Yeah,
I agree with you.
All right, Meaney, Ravens 49ers Super Bowl. Who wins the Super Bowl 2024?
It's the Niners. It was my preseason pick with San Fran. I actually liked Cincinnati in this spot earlier in the season, so I was completely wrong about that. I didn't think Baltimore was going to be as good as they are, but the Niners, I just think they probably would have beat Philadelphia last year if they had Brock Purdy. The defense is absolutely stout.
The Eagles D was way better last year, though.
The Eagles D was way better last year, but even in that NFC Championship game, Philadelphia didn't really move the ball. I know you can say, they didn't need to move the ball because, CMC was the quarterback in the fourth quarter of that game, but I think that San Fran probably learned a lot from that matchup against Baltimore. The only thing that makes me have pause is that Shanahan we can all agree, Shanahan doesn't have a great track record of winning in these big moments. And Harbaugh does on the other side, but I think that San Fran has a pretty good path of getting to the Super Bowl, and I'm going to lean with them.
My preseason pick was Ravens over Eagles. I switched it now to 49ers over KC. But maybe the Ravens Eagles can happen. Who knows?
That Cincy pick's not your fault either, Meaney. Like, you don't know that friggin' Burrow's going to get hurt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Trevor Lawrence, things happen in the NFL, right?
It's
but
crazy.
I didn't like their wins total. I thought it was way too high this year. Tough division.
That division, I was just going to say, it's crazy. What's the first time in like 70 years we've seen 4 teams?
Every team above 500? I mean, it helps that there's the extra game because it should have been 8-8. Like, it's just, but
call. Yeah.
That's why whenever I seen that set, I was like, well, yeah, they didn't have a 17th game. Like, it wasn't possible for them to go 9-8. But but that's besides the point. All right, let's get into our crazy prop parlays. We're each going to take. Let's do. What do you guys want to do?
We don't have to bet from every game. We don't. We can do some games too. But like, if we don't like a game, like points. We don't have to force anything.
Let's just pick any two. Let's just pick any two that we like. It doesn't have to be from any game.
Okay.
It'll be a 6-guy parlay. It's probably going to be 60-1. So Cam, you can start. Give me one guy from the weekend that you like.
The Saturday games, give me Njoku for the Browns and give me
just one. We'll come back to you for your next one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it touchdowns?
Okay.
Are we doing
anytime TDs? Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna
so
go
we got
Njoku
for the Browns. Meaney, give me one from the weekend.
I'll go with Cooper Kupp.
Ooh, that was gonna be my pick. All right, I like it. Cooper Kupp. All right, I'm gonna go Leonard Fournette. I'm doing it.
Oh baby.
So Cooper Kupp, Leonard Fournette, and Njoku. Okay, Cam, give me another one.
Pacheco.
Nice.
Pacheco. Meaney, give me your second one.
Let's go Ferguson.
Like that, Meaney. That was gonna be my next pick.
And then my last one will be no, I was gonna say Mariota. No, I'm just kidding. I will go with Jerome Ford.
I will go. Oh, are we done?
Yeah, we're done. So let's see what this pays out. So we got Ford and Njoku. Add that. Then we got Kupp and Pacheco. So do Pacheco first. Cam, you would probably add Mostert, right? If it wasn't.
Oh, I'd add Mostert. I'm thinking about adding Montgomery. But anyway, just send me this one, Drew, and then I'll do my additional extensions to my home later on. But we'll build the bungalow now, and then we'll build the tower. Right?
Okay, so we got those. Then we got Cup and Ferguson. Let me add them here. It's looking pretty good right now. Cup.
Yeah, with Fournette adds a lot to that.
Well, Fournette plus 450 is like a wicked price. Like that's crazy.
Ferguson. All right, last one. So 6-guy parlay. Ford and Njoku, Pacheco, Fournette, Cup, and Ferguson pays 400 to 1.
Holy.
Uh,
Text me that information, please.
Yeah. So I think that Fournette one boosted. You put $20, you win 10 grand. I'll take it. Or $25, you win 10 grand.
Wow.
Worth a little sprinkle. I'm gonna be mad if we I might alter it and put Allen where Fournette is, and just then have the Fournette one a smaller.
You know what we got to do, Drew?
think
If we
that's
get like one game wrong, you almost want to do like a round robin, like to less with like whatever. Just so
I did
you
it last week with our
something.
10-teamer.
Yeah.
I was pumped. Singletary and Taylor both hit in that game. I was like,
That's right.
fuck yeah. They both hit for us.
Oh yeah, Drew. Before I need to change my minerals, I would like to put Buffalo Gold,
Okay.
Packers Silver.
Oh, you're changing everything.
Yeah, I am. And
I scared him off the Lions. Don't let me scare you off the Lions.
No, what? You're not. No, and I'll make Lions bronze. I got to stick to my guns with the Lions. I'm the only guy taking them, but I can't make them gold. I'm going to make them bronze.
So Buffalo's now your gold.
Packers silver. And,
so you don't like the Eagles. You don't like the Eagles anymore. Meaney scared you off the Eagles.
Yes, he did. Meaney brought up a lot of points. They're a wounded bird. Like my team's a bird team too. Like there's bad things happen to birds in the winter.
Baker can't walk. They're going to score 3 points.
Oh, I'm still betting. Game. I'm betting Philadelphia. I just don't want it in my mineral section.
Yeah,
I don't want it on the
I
podium.
Think it's
It'll
be
be choice number 4.
Drew, you bring up a good point, like in a must-win situation. And that's why it's such a tough pick, because when you're just comparing rosters, like there's night and day.
It's not even close. Yeah.
But
not even close.
Tampa couldn't even score a touchdown. They could only muster 3 field goals against Carolina. I think it's going to just be a sloppy football game.
They should have lost that game. If Buddy doesn't fumble at the goal line, Carolina wins the football game. And that's
I like the Dolphins too. You guys like the Chiefs? I think the Dolphins cover 4.5. I think they lose by like 3.
I think the Dolphins are in a spot that they might get shut out, Cam.
That's pretty bold, Drew. Pretty bold.
Mike McDaniel is going to be...
Yeah. Smart guy. I'm Mike McDaniel.
It's Mahomes and Andy Reid in their house in the playoffs because you didn't want to run the football against the Bills in the second half despite averaging 6 yards a carry. I don't know.
You better have a charger on his vape pen because he's going to be the entire game. He's going to be
well played, me. Yeah. I don't know what he does at halftime. Maybe he shouldn't hit the vape pen because everything he does well, he screws up in the second half. That guy is like the worst at adjustments. It's like, dude, I just don't understand how coaches, when you're doing something well, you don't have to get totally away from it.
That's what I mean. Even if the Dolphins are winning this game, they're not going to hang on to the lead because they'll be like, oh, you know what? We're winning running the football. Let's start throwing now.
That's McDaniel. These guys get bored, I think. Yep, that's exactly it, Meaney. You got it.
All right. Well, that does it for the wild card round picks. Meaney, thank you so much for joining us. Before we get out of here, let the people know where they can find your stuff.
Yeah, at Chris Meaney on the Twitter machine, always tweeting out some picks and articles over at ftmbets.com. Tuesdays and Thursdays, read up some hockey stuff. But yeah, Mean Streets on our YouTube page, FTN Network YouTube page, multi-sport show. And then we have Dangle Batselli on Tuesdays and Thursdays, as you mentioned earlier. Appreciate it. With Eric Young, just rolling through the hockey schedule.
Nice.
I missed both of you guys. I loved this. This is fantastic. Highlight of my week. So thanks for having me.
No, Meaney, thank you for coming. And guys, like I've worked with Meaney before. This guy, hockey props, like do yourself a favor and listen to what Meaney's talking about. He knows what he's doing and he'll make you some money. So let's roll. It's been very profitable this year.
Except for his Habs fandom. It's
funny. I do another show with McInnes with Morency. He's a Habs fan too. There's a lot of them out there. A lot of them.
Playing pretty decent hockey lately, but an easy team
to
fade.
They priced the Habs like an expansion team, like Philadelphia 190. Get bent. You won the game, but give me a break. Yeah, they treat Montreal like the books are like, oh, Montreal. Yeah, it was
Drew likes to chirp me that they only win in overtime, and he's probably not wrong. They go to a lot of overtime games, but it's something to think about when they play like the draw bet because they do play a lot of tight games. And who would have thought that the best part of their game this year is actually their goaltending, which is keeping them in.
They'll beat SJ Sharkey tonight, won't they?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Must be nice being a Habs fan. Drew. I'm Drew. I'm a Colorado fan. Must be nice winning every night.
We sucked for like 10 years. Give us a break.
You don't suck at all.
A few years removed from being one of the worst teams in the history, but they're rolling
and
now.
Didn't even win the draft lottery. Luckily, Makar fell to 4. That worked out.
Cam, I'm surprised you're not on SJ Sharkey. That's your squad, no?
Hey, I got to be honest with you,
13
Meaney. I
straight
rode them
losses,
for a
yeah.
while. No, the best thing about the Sharks is they're great because they'll lose 12, then they'll play well for a bit, then they'll lose 10 or 12. Like the thing about the Sharks, when they were dogs, like all the time during that stretch, it was really good. But then you got to realize it's a train that you got to get off now.
All right, enough hockey talk.
I'm sorry, Drew. I'm sorry. You got to edit all this stuff out anyway.
Well, no, I don't need to edit it out. I'm just saying it's a bunch of Canadians talking football. Of course, hockey breaks into it. Apologies, viewers. But me and Cam are probably doing a hockey show after football season's done, so we'll see. But thank you for joining us for the wild card round picks. Please click like. Please click subscribe. Please download, rate, and review on all audio platforms. And we will see you for the divisional round when the Pittsburgh Steelers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers make it through. Who knows? See you, everybody.
You're an idiot. Like you don't think your Buffalo's going to lose outright? Okay.
This has been Drew and Stu. Follow Drew at Producer Drew and Cam at Cam Stewart Live. May the winners be yours and all of the best bets hit.